Welcome to today's video. Today, I'm going to give you a secret to improve exponentially in a very short period of time, especially compared to the rest of the world. Let's dive in. Today, we're going to be talking about how to quickly get ahead of everybody else that's out there in society. I'm going to teach you how to get light years ahead of people in a very, very short period of time. And I like to watch people and watch what's happening in society and watch what happens when things are happening and when something good happens, something bad happens. Like, I'm just so interested in humans. And so I study humans a lot and I try to pay attention to them. And when you look out into the world, what do you see? Like, what do you notice? Because one of the things that I really am noticing, I'm noticing a lot of things, but one thing that's becoming extremely obvious for me is that humans are becoming more and more addicted to technology. And I don't mean technology in like a good way, like they're using it for business, they're using it for them to be able to create amazing things. I mean that they're more addicted to their phones, they're more addicted to watching their TV, they're more addicted to playing video games, all of that. And if you can notice this, and you can find where you fit in the world, and you find whatever industry that you want to get into, you can dominate basically any industry and you can get ahead of your competition. And I don't like to view the entire world as competition. That's not really what I prefer. But if you run a business, if you own a business, you do have competition. If you are a salesperson that's selling a product, you do have competition. And when you see what everybody else is doing, I like to look at what everyone else is doing most of the time and do the exact opposite. The reason why is because that means that you're going to be an outlier in some sort of way. Like, I remember when I first started this podcast in 2015, most podcasts at that point in time were an hour-long interview episodes once a week. And I was like, I'm going to be completely different. I'm going to make 15-minute episodes 3 to 4 times a week. And when you see that I just decided to go a different way, well, I guess the podcast decided, because of that, stood out in some sort of way. And so what I like to do is look at what everyone else is doing and do something different. When you look at the average person, they spend 3.2 hours a day watching Netflix or some form of something on their TV. They spend 4.1 hours per day on their phone. They spend 2.5 hours on social media. 2.5 hours on social media. That's over 15 hours of their life over the next week is going to be doing that. Now, I'm not saying never be entertained, but I'm just saying, can you just lower it a little bit? Can you remove yourself? Can you consciously just remove yourself a little bit more? Like, sure, I'm sure the cat videos that you watch are hilarious. They're definitely entertaining. But you know what's probably way better than a cat video is watching the sunset in Greece, because you did take action in the past and created the life that you want. So it's like, do you want to watch cat videos or do you want to have a glass of wine while you're in Greece watching the sunset? That's a pretty easy decision, isn't it? The only difference is the cat videos requires no action. It requires no movement and there is no resistance to do it. Working really hard to be able to afford to go to Greece and to be able to enjoy yourself requires action. It requires intention. It requires hard work. And most people are not willing to put in the work. They want to take the easy route. That's just natural for us to do as humans. And so if you really want to change your life, if you really want to distance yourself from everybody else that's out there, you will become more and more superhuman in the coming years if you stop doing what everybody else is doing. If you decide to remove yourself from the video games, you decide to remove yourself from watching TV all the time, if you decide to remove yourself from being on social media all day, if you decide to start reading a book instead, if you decide to start spending some time with your loved ones instead, spending some time going on a run and getting your fitness better, instead of being in front of a screen, trying to improve yourself in some sort of way. You know, having some sort of coach to help you get better at something. If you want to get better at a sport or get better physically in your fitness, read a little bit more, try to journal a little bit more, try to meditate a little bit more, work on your own personal self. Because if you work on yourself, the world will become a better place. You will enjoy it more and you will help yourself. You will help your children. You will help your spouse. You will help the world around you become better as well. Ultimately, if everybody did that, I think the world would probably be a better place. So where's the world going? I don't know. Not really sure. I got an idea of where it's going. I could be right. I could be wrong. Ultimately, though, I know where I'm going. And that's the most important thing. And so for you to figure out what you're going and how you're going to get there and what you're going to need to do and not do to get there is extremely, extremely important. And so hopefully you will trade your entertainment for education at least a few extra times this week. And if you do that, that's how you'll set yourself apart. So that's what I got for you for today's episode. If you love this episode, please share it on Instagram stories. Tag me in it, Rob Dial Jr., ROBDIALJR. And once again, if you love this podcast, you might have heard me say this over the past few episodes. I'm launching something pretty soon called Mindset Mentor Plus. And it was designed to help you take these episodes and fully integrate them into your life. And so each episode that comes out of this podcast, inside of Mindset Mentor Plus, you're going to get detailed worksheets, multiple pages with trainings, lessons, knowing exactly what we went over, helping you get better at it, going deeper into each subject. We're going to have journal prompts to help you actually take those, to write questions down, to journal through, to help you become better and to help you understand each episode and integrate them into your life. And there's also going to be real world assignments so that you can actually do some things to change your life and move the needle a little bit more, so that you're not really just a listener of the podcast, but you're a participant. There's also going to be exclusive question and answer sessions with me. There's going to be access to an entire community of Mindset Mentor listeners and many other bonuses, all for less than you spend on coffee every single month. And for some of you guys that love coffee and you're addicted to it, way less than you spend on coffee every single month. And so the founding members, the first people who sign up will get a discount. So to sign up for the wait list and be the first to learn about it, go to mindsetwaitlist.com right now to sign up. Once again, mindsetwaitlist.com, and I'll send you an email before we announce it anywhere else so that you can become a founding member. So with that, I'm going to leave you the same way I leave you every single episode. Make it your mission to make somebody else's day better. I appreciate you, and I hope that you have an amazing day.